What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and welcome to the Battle of the Week bonus battle. This is going to be that nearly 13-minute match I was talking about. It may be closer to 12, which is probably a good thing, but most of you said you wanted to see it, and there were also some of you that said that long of a battle would be boring, and I agree with you. I absolutely hate long battles. I may have dozed off once or twice while fighting it. But to help things along, we are also doing a Q&A, so I'll be answering most if not all of your questions. To start things off though, it is going to be the Duck Squad versus a nearly impregnable defense. They have an insanely high armory bonus, which I'll show you at the end, and they're already using Colossus and Kuurth. This team is going to be so hard to damage, especially with these two melee focused characters. Basically what I'm saying is, if we're going to win this one, we're going to have to get all our ducks in a row. But you know what? Let's get started with that Q&A. So the first question is, how have you managed to keep up with all the changes and new heroes that are added? I played the game for 3 years and it got to the point where there was too much happening too quickly, and I experienced some hardcore burnout. At this point, I'm so far behind that I would not be able to catch up if I picked it up again. How do you do it? Well, to be honest with you, there have been times when I was also burned out, but what keeps me going is the channel and all the viewers. So without that, I may have taken a long break from the game myself. I guess though there is some fear of falling behind and missing some of the heroes as well. But to be honest with you, during times like this, I just barely log in, so since there's no spec op, and I thought it would come out but it didn't yet, watch, it'll probably come out today. But basically I'll just take a step back and only log in, check my flight deck once or twice, get my heroes training, and then that's it for the day, until something new comes out. So that's one way you may be able to stop yourself from getting burned out. And speaking of getting burned out, with the enemy team still at full health, us doing nearly 0 damage, I really thought our goose was cooked. Where did you get the micro-analysis? Well, that comes from the Small Hadron Collider, which was unfortunately a gold sale bonus weapon. For the Q&A, I want to ask whether Kuurth will dominate in PvP for a couple of upcoming seasons, or will she have the same fate as Heroic Age Iron Fist? Well, to be honest with you, I really hate nerfs. I don't even like to speculate on them. I especially dislike them on chapter mastery rewards. Now I do want Kuurth fixed, but she would still be incredibly powerful, so if they don't go too far, which they shouldn't, she should be fine for upcoming seasons. One of the problems is they tend to go too far. This next one is a comment, but it's you should have the Roaring Thunder. It was a Diamond League reward. And just read the comments, looks like people already let you know about it. Boy did they ever. All I can say is that weapon was very forgettable, and somehow I forgot all about it. I mean, it did sound kind of familiar, but I definitely didn't remember it was a reward. Next, what happened to those new series that you said a while ago? And greetings from Argentina. Well, greetings, thank you for commenting. I'm not really sure about the new series. I mean, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. But there are a few that haven't even started yet, and a few that are kind of discontinued or on the back burner for now. That doesn't mean they won't come back or won't get started up, I'm just not sure. I'll most likely get to them though at some point. Will you ever do more MFF? So Marvel Future Fight. And yes, I do plan to make a few more videos on it, but the thing is with that game, I don't really consider myself an expert, not that maybe you can't even be an expert in it. And I really don't know what to show. I mean, I could do updates or news, but like I said, I'm really not that sure. I will do more videos on it though, once I can play it again, because right now it's having an error for me. After the last update, I haven't been able to play it yet. By the way, notice we're 4 minutes into this fight and we've barely done any damage. Plus we're really struggling with stamina. You could say our team are sitting ducks right now. Alright, next question. What do you think of the new cosplay-like costume idea for other characters? Also, which would be best? Hercuthor or Thorcules? I actually think Hercuthor would be best. And I do really like the new cosplay idea. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing other characters doing it. but I don't know exactly who would be right for it. Deadpool should be involved though. Do you plan to do a live streaming eventually? Well, I'll be honest with you, this is something I planned for a long time, but just never really did it. For a lot of that time, I wasn't really set up for it, but to be honest, I kind of am now. I've even been using OBS to record my videos, and that's something that you can use to broadcast your stream on Twitch. So it's a real possibility and something I should definitely do. It's just a matter of time. I have a question for Q&A. Will you do a guide for ISO 8 builds? Alternate question, what guide do you use to build ISO 8 for characters? Well, I don't use any guide for my builds. And maybe that's part of the problem because I don't think everyone would agree with them. But what I do is, I get my accuracy up to a point. Usually I fill up all the bars. The entire time I go attack. So I may even do attack, defense, and accuracy. So I'll focus on attack and defense. And then lately I've been adding in health. So basically, get your accuracy up to a point, and get as much attack, defense, and health as you can. That would be my basic strategy. If Playdom decided to add a character from an anime into the game, which character would you like that to be? Well, lately I've been watching Sword Art Online, and I love it. Attack on Titan's great, Bleach and so on. But my original favorite, and I guess it's always going to be my favorite, overall, is Dragon Ball Z. So if I had to choose just one, it would be tough, but I'd say Vegeta. If I had choices after that, it may be Ichigo and Kenpachi Zaraki. In a past video, you commented that you played Magic, perhaps your favorite color, card, or set. And if the question should be MAA related, who's your least favorite character to use ever? For the Magic question, I haven't played in a while and I'm not great with set names, but I'd say my favorite color would be black. And then sets with zombies or vampires. As far as a favorite card, it may end up being a planeswalker like Sorin, but I'll just say Doomblade. I mean, obviously I use that a lot. As far as my least favorite MAA character, I'm going to end up forgetting someone that I really hate. But for some reason, the original Spider-Woman came into mind, so before her changes, she was terrible. Alright, how do you see the evolution of the PvP meta with the new suit, hero, and weapon from last PvP? In this case, I don't think the suit, or necessarily the hero, are going to make a huge impact. They may see some playing time, especially Colleen, but I do see that blade being used a lot. I just don't think it's necessarily going to shape the meta. It would be nice if the suit discouraged rocket teams, or if the blade discouraged Emma Frost, but I don't know. Question, will you ever show your face? It's a possibility. I was going to say at 100,000 subscribers, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. It could happen on Twitch or something like that after I started streaming. Or maybe on Facebook. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, we have some more questions, but I should have answered these ones first. So, how did you find the game? Also, which 15 CP hero did you pick at the beginning? How I found this game was through a great friend. And he was already playing and maybe a level 60 or something like that. He told me about the game and I just started from there. And I was absolutely hooked. The 15 CP character is something I actually can't remember. It was either Cyclops or Iron Fist. It may have been Iron Fist. As of right now, what are your two favorite buffs and debuffs? Also, did you enter the community forum contest? Favorite buffs, I'm sure there are more favorite ones, but I'll just say what came into my head because I'm blanking right now. And that's going to be combat awareness, or anything that makes you counterattack, and strengthened. Though I know there's a ton of overpowered ones that could count. Sacred, magnetic field, just tons of buffs. I'm a fan of buffs in general. For debuffs, I'm going to say exhausted. It's definitely one of my favorites. And I'm not going by most powerful, by the way, even though these are both very powerful debuffs. But exhausted and immobilized. The forum contest I thought about entering and definitely thought it was interesting. But it seemed like too much work, especially since I never win anything like that. So no, I didn't enter. Question King, what makes this game addictive? There are lots of better games with graphics, tactics, and lots of stuff. What's special about this one? And what about MAA 2? Well, for me, and I think many of us, the special thing about this game is the characters. So, the fact that they have Marvel heroes. as well as villains. That's what drew me to it, and probably the same could be said for a lot of us. MAA 2, I'm not sure, I haven't played it yet, but I do think there's a lot of promise, and that's the key thing for me about that game. Okay, and as you can see during that question, the enemy agent was one dead duck. So now we only have Kuurth and Colossus left, and Kuurth is getting closer to death. The video is actually getting near the end, but we do have some more questions, so let's get back to those. What is your favorite hero so far, and any free weapon gadget that was on a roulette? See non-gold PvP reward or spec up that I'm still using. That's pretty difficult to even answer. There have been some good free weapons or gadgets from seasons, but some of them were nerfed, and most of them I don't use today. So that's kind of the sad situation. For hero, my favorite hero ever is Spider-Man, but in-game, it would have been Iron Fist, and now I'll just go with Spitfire or Elsa. My question is, what in your opinion is the best comic you have ever read? Wow, this is a really tough question. Besides anything Spider-Man related, which would be kind of taking the easy way out for me, we'll exclude him, and Deadpool. There's some awesome Deadpool stuff that I love too. It's actually kind of sad because I'm going to have to say DC storylines, and I hate to have to say that, but I'll go with The Killing Joke, or I do love the Tower of Babel. You know what, the more I think about it, there's a million things I love from both Marvel and DC. So yeah, that's a really tough question. It'll probably change with the hour. Okay, so 3 more questions, and I think that's about all that I saw. So hopefully I got everyone. Besides Surfer, what 3 heroes would you like to see in game? Or if you could replace an ability, what would it be? I would say Namor, Namor, and Namor. And I don't want to hear about him being killed because that's too upsetting. The ability thing, that's really difficult because you always have to worry about balance. So I don't even really think about new abilities that much. It would take a lot. So I do have to give the devs credit. And just to show you, that guy's defense was insane. And for many of you, you always want to see my bonuses, so there they are as well. The Saiyas, or whatever the current item is, I won those 12 from the preseason. So the other items I have are from the past season, I believe. But there you go, that's what I was up against, and I do have 2 more questions, so let's get back to those. What is your real name? And if you don't answer, tell me which hero is a good team up for Ghost Rider. Well, everyone calls me AJ, my family, friends, so that's fine if you want to call me that. Hey King, are you having as much fun with the game now as you did when you started playing? Man, I hate to answer this. And it's the final one. But no, I'm not. If they released a new chapter and maybe revamp PvP, then it could get back very close to that. But it is going to take some work. I'm not giving up though, and I really hope you don't either. So let's just let them know what we want, and hopefully they at least deliver on some of it. I'm sure a new Spec Ops coming out later, so that's going to help excitement. As for this video, that's it. But I want to thank you all for watching, for your questions, and I also want to ask you to please like and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck and take care.